Do you believe in the existence of ghosts? I believe the vast majority of people would shake their heads and deny it. However, in this world, there is a couple who not only firmly believe in ghosts, but also claim to hear their voices, and even make exorcism their lifelong career. Their names, you may already be familiar with: Ed Warren and Rolling Warren, the most famous and controversial legendary couple in the field of supernatural investigation, and also the prototype characters of the soul-calling universe. Today, we won't talk about those bloody murder cases, but delve into the bizarre world of this legendary couple, and uncover the mysterious veil of their ghost hunting career. The story begins in the early 1940s. Two 16-year-old young people met at a cinema, where Ed was a ticket seller, and Rolling was a customer. The naive love quickly sprouted in love at first sight, and even with the outbreak of World War II, and Ed's deployment to the battlefield, this relationship never ceased. In 1945, Ed returned from vacation, and the two immediately got married. The following year, they welcomed their daughter. After the war, Ed became a painter, particularly fond of landscape painting. But, in his heart, there has always been a burning interest in the supernatural world. According to him, this interest stems from a terrifying experience at the age of 3. He claimed that there was a ghost woman living in his bedroom, and he often talked to her. Young Ed firmly believed that his house was haunted, and this seed took root and sprouted in his heart from then on. And Rowling gradually realized that she had a special talent: extrasensory vision. At the age of 9, she discovered that the teachers at school were enveloped in a unique halo. At first, she thought everyone could see it, until she realized that it was her own ability, and she could perceive spiritual energy that ordinary people couldn't detect. How did this ordinary couple embark on the path of hunting ghosts? The process even sounds a bit romantic. In order to balance Ed's passion for painting and his supernatural interests, they came up with a peculiar method. Ed would search for the rumored haunted houses, set up easels across the street, and carefully depict the houses and their surroundings. After finishing the painting, Rowling knocked on the door and showed the homeowner the painting. Imagine if a stranger couple came to your house with a painting. What would your reaction be? Surprisingly, the homeowners at that time were often not alert, but warmly invited them into the house and talked endlessly about the strange things that happened inside. In this way, they quickly accumulated a good reputation, and people passed it on word of mouth, recommending them to friends in trouble. It is this unique knocking on the door art that opened the door to the supernatural world for them. In the 1950s, they officially founded the New England Society for Paranormal Research, which was one of the earliest supernatural investigation organizations in the United States. It is reported that so far, this association has investigated over 10,000 cases. It is important to pay special attention to their religious background. The Warrens are both devout Catholics, and their supernatural worldview is rooted in Catholic doctrine. In their view, the world is a battlefield between God and the devil. Whenever they confirm that a place is haunted, especially when it involves evil spirits or possession, they always insist on introducing Catholic priests to perform exorcism rituals. Ed is not the non-religious exorcist authorized by the church as depicted in the movie, but their professional reputation has indeed reached such a high level. When someone reports a serious supernatural event to the Catholic Church or the Vatican, the church often sends the Warrens first to assess the situation. They have a famous saying: "Fairy tales are true, demons exist, God also exists, and our fate as humans depends on which side we choose to follow." At first, they only recorded phenomena, but an encounter in 1965 changed their mission. They claimed to have encountered a ghost girl named Cynthia who was lost on her way to find her mother. This experience deeply touched Rowling, and they decided to transform from mere recorders to helpers, helping both the troubled living and the trapped undead. It was also during this period that they began to do something that was slightly reflected in movies, but more extreme in reality: collecting attached items. They believed that gathering these malicious objects in a blessed and protected place is safer than letting them scatter outside. So, the Warren Museum of Spirituality was born, essentially a basement located in their home in Menlo, Connecticut. This place houses a vast collection of chilling artifacts, including famous Annabelle dolls, demon statues used in satanic rituals, and instruments that can be played automatically. This basement is arguably the most dangerous supernatural item warehouse in the world. It is precisely based on such a vast and astonishing case library that Hollywood has found an inexhaustible source of inspiration. However, real stories are often more confusing and controversial than dramatic adaptations of movies. Next, Let's uncover the true narratives behind the 7 classic cases according to the timeline. Annabelle doll case. In 1970, a mother gave her 28-year-old daughter, Donna, a large ragdian doll. At first, it was just a small strange thing. The dolls would fall off the sofa or appear on chairs they hadn't placed yet. As time goes by, the actions of the doll become increasingly bizarre, and even leave strange notes with the words "Help me" written on them. The Warrens diagnosed that this was not the ghost of a child, but a demon disguised as an innocent child. In order to lower the vigilance of its prey, gain trust, and pave the way for its ultimate possession, a priest was invited to exorcise and bless the apartment, but the doll seemed unwilling to leave. On the way home, Ed claimed that the car kept losing control and the brakes were malfunctioning, until he stopped and splashed holy water on the doll before the vehicle returned to normal. After returning to her residence, Annabelle's activities did not stop, and she continued to appear from one room to another. To this day, Rowling still calls Annabelle the most dangerous item in their collection. The Perhone family haunted case. In 1970, the Perhone family purchased an old farm in Harrisville, Rhode Island, built in 1736. At first, supernatural phenomena seemed very friendly, and the children claimed to have a boy ghost named Laurie playing with them. But the development of the situation exceeded their expectations. Every morning at 5:15, a putrid smell would appear on time, and the bed began to shake violently. The children complained that something was trying to drag them out of bed. Bathsheba, who is believed to be possessed by the female protagonist Caroline, shows a strange fondness for the male protagonist Roger, but extreme hostility towards Caroline. Father Roger became furious and immediately kicked the Warrens out of the house. In reality, after the Warrens were evicted, the harassment did not stop, and the Perhone family endured another decade of trouble. The Amityville haunted house case. In 1974, Ronald Defoe shot and killed his parents and 4 siblings at 3:15 a.m. In December 1975, the Lutz family purchased this house at an extremely low price, but strange things kept happening as soon as they moved in. People at home often smell a strange smell that can't be explained in the room. There are many strange gel-like substances on the carpet for no reason. After moving into this house, Lutz would wake up mysteriously almost every morning at 3:15 a.m., and when inspecting the room, he also discovered a sacrificial chamber that was not on the blueprint. The visit of the Warrens was more like an authoritative authentication, but they also failed to resolve the abnormality of this haunted house, resulting in the Lutz family being forced to move out after only 28 days of living there. Enfield noisy ghost case. In 1977, single mother Peggy Hodgson and her 4 children lived in Enfield, and the strange incident began when a chest of drawers inexplicably moved in her daughter's bedroom. Subsequently, 11-year-old daughter Janet began to experience possession symptoms, with convulsions and speaking in the voice of an elderly male named Bill Wilkins. The Warrens came from the United States and stayed for about a day. Rowling says she felt the presence of a powerful evil spirit, but they believed the situation was complex and needed more local investigators to follow up, so they did not lead the exorcism. However, the controversy surrounding this case is significant, as some investigators and journalists captured footage of Janet secretly bending a spoon and kicking the door with her foot to create noise. The Snijder family funeral home case. In 1986, Alan and Carmen Snijder moved with their family to a house in Southington, Connecticut, unaware that the house actually belonged to a funeral home. After checking in, they discovered creepy morgue equipment in the basement and began experiencing a series of unsettling events. After investigation, the Warrens stated that this is a demon possession, and the case requires an immediate exorcism ceremony. However, their actions have also raised many doubts, with some believing that they are promoting themselves for personal fame and interests. The Small Family Devil case. In 1973, Jack and Janet Small moved into a century-old duplex apartment in Pennsylvania. At the beginning of moving in, the family did not notice any abnormalities. But in January 1974, abnormalities began to appear. There are stains on the newly purchased carpet that cannot be wiped off no matter how hard it is. The TV suddenly caught fire, and family members were physically attacked. In January 1986, the desperate Small family contacted the Warrens, and their investigation shocked everyone, calling them one of the most powerful demons of my career. After multiple exorcism rituals, the terror was finally completely ended. The Grazel family demon possession case. In 1980, the Grazel family in Brookfield, Connecticut experienced a nightmare. 8-year-old son David claimed to have seen a monster with big black eyes, pointed ears, feet, and hooves, and then began to exhibit abnormal behavior. On July 18, 1981, David's exorcism ceremony was secretly held in the church, but an impulsive declaration turned into a bloody tragedy 7 months later. On February 16, 1982, Aaron had a minor argument with Bono, and suddenly took out the knife he carried with him and stabbed Bono more than 20 times. After being arrested, Aaron remained unusually calm, and only said one sentence in the face of police questioning: "It was the devil who forced me to do it." The story of the Warrens is essentially a story about faith, narrative, and humanity. They are in the most ambiguous field of supernatural research, where the truth is shrouded in mist. Perhaps things may start with some real and inexplicable core, but as fame, attention, and economic interests snowball in, this core is wrapped, embellished, amplified, and even mixed into performance and fiction. For us viewers, the greatest value left by the Warrens may not be conclusive evidence of the existence of ghosts, but rather a huge modern fable about how humans face unknown fears, with stories to explain inexplicable things, and how fame and original intentions compete. Their case is a mirror that illuminates the dark corners of human nature. Is the image in the mirror demons, ghosts, or our own fears and desires? It depends on the inner thoughts of each viewer. Thank you for completing this long exploration with me. Returning to the beginning of the story, whether you believe in ghosts or not, maintaining reverence for the unknown and scrutiny of the story may be the best way to face this complex world.